Rachel should just sat there and ate her food because that live wasn't it. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about and just basically giving a summary / analysis on Rachel's live from Love Island USA season 2. We were kind of waiting for it because we just wanted her to address some things that she said in the past, in her past interviews, also on the show. And you just want her, after, time has passed and, let it marinate a little bit. Do you still have your same stance on what you said? Is it you said what you said, or you're gonna recant your statements of what you made previously? So Rachel goes live. She says she goes live. She has her little questions tab, and people send in their questions. So she goes live around 7-8 Eastern time, and she wrote down all the questions that people asked her. So she already knows that people are coming in on her, coming in. She already knows from, she said, she wrote all the questions down and she's basically going to go run through them. So her live started off a little, basically easygoing, because she was answering questions like, oh, what's your zodiac sign? What's your aspirations? What are you doing? Those easy questions, even though that's not the questions that the majority of the people on her live were there for. They wanted her to say things, come correct, and, that's where the live started out. So then in the middle of her live, in the beginning of her live, she didn't even say Justine's name. She referred to Justine as that girl, or the person you were referring to. She was like, she did speak a little correctly on her name. She was like, oh, she has a nice heart and stuff like that. But she referred to Justine as that girl. She was not name dropping in the beginning at all. She was just referring to I speak to a lot of people. When people were like, who do you still talk to, or who do you talk to from the villa or from Love Island? She said she had talked to a lot I keep in talk with a lot of different people. Then towards the middle of her live, when she started drinking, she starts to name drop, and that's when it starts going downhill. Her comment section was very out of pocket, very wild. There were some questions that were just, you just need, nah. So there was a very out of pocket questions, and then I saw that she went from her questions that she wrote down in her book to looking at the questions on her live. I was like, nah, this is not good. That's not good for you. You're really digging your hole deeper. So now what I have to say about the questions that she addressed. One, she said that she wasn't bitter and that she had a bad edit. I'm just like, that's not making any sense, because, and she also went on to say that it wasn't that deep. Last time I checked, Justine didn't make it deep. Caleb did not make it deep. You're the one who got offended. You went off to start talking to Kirsten, like, oh, I wish she would have talked to you about the situation before she did that. You were the one who were like, it irritates me, it irks me, it rubs me the wrong way, i.e. I can't be your friend no more. And that's why when Justine and you had a one-on-one talk, you basically were like, I'm going to take a step back from our friendship. So Justine did not make it deep. You made it deep. You're the one who had an issue with it. You didn't just, oh, it's brush off my shoulder, it's whatever. You gotta understand that you're on a dating reality show. The whole point of the show is for you to make connections. The whole point of the show is sometimes people are going to step on your toes. This is still the early stages of the show. This was probably week 2 of the show. and you and Caleb were only coupled up for maybe 1 to 2 days, 3 days max, I would say, and you didn't have any strong connection with Caleb. So for Justine to make her move on Caleb, you have, I'm not going to invalidate your feelings if you felt some type of way, but you can't say, oh, she was in the wrong for doing that, because that's the whole premise of the show. Now, like I said, I'm not going to invalidate her feelings. If she felt some type of way, she felt some type of way. If she felt some type of way and she still stand on her stance, like, oh yeah, I still feel that same way, because, you know, if it was in the real world and not on a dating reality show, you know, it's the same energy. But you're gonna either keep the same energy, or you're gonna recant your statement. You can't be, you know, double, you know, can't be hypocritical. You can't be like double standards with it. You gotta keep the same energy all around for everybody involved, or you gotta recant your statements and you gotta, like, you know, backtrack. And she was just doing a lot of contradictory statements, and it wasn't really adding up to what's going on.
I haven't seen this episode, but like, I'm pretty sure that in the moment I was kind of like, okay, like, and I was, you know, you guys, like, I probably had the most mild reaction of anyone there ever when that shit happened. So, like, give me a fucking break. Like, I watched that shit live, and I didn't expect it, and I wasn't warned, and I wasn't mad about it, but I definitely was like, all right, I'm feeling some things, and I gotta go deal with those feelings. So I think more than anything, it was like, let me go fix what I need to fix so I can be good again, because I'm not gonna deal with not being good again on the island.
So, first of all, in the car wash scene, her mouth was ajar. She was shocked. Even you heard Caleb said, you know, when I looked over to Rachel, she looked surprised that you did it. So how are you going to say if my reaction was mild? Come again? How are you going to say your reaction was mild? Your reaction wasn't mild. You were pressed. Just owned up to you being pressed. Then, because the thing is, Caleb was the one who told you, you have nothing to worry about. You're good. Then, you even said when you got dumped from the villa, he lied to you. So how is Justine so in the wrong for this? All Justine did was kissed him, and it was his decision and his choice that got you dumped from the villa. It wasn't Justine's choice. Justine just applied pressure way harder than you even did. So why are you gonna, like, be upset with the girl for just making a move on something that you're supposed to do inside that villa? Like, it was Caleb who told you, yeah, you got nothing to worry about. It was him who should have or could have, you know, went back and tell you, like, yeah, I'm not going to pick you. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why you will be upset with that. But keep it a stack. Keep it 100. You know, don't try to backtrack. So then, later on, she comes to say that she asked a question, that she answers a question like, do you believe that you should give Justine an apology? So she says, yeah, Justine deserves an apology. But then she says, I said what I said. Things are better left unsaid. So you believe she deserves an apology, but you're still not willing to give her one. You're just saying that things are better left unsaid. So what's going on here? You believe that she deserves an apology, but you don't want to say the apology. You're just like backtracking, contradicting yourself. Like, what are you doing? Like, things are not adding up. The whole live was supposed to clear the air or put things correctly, set things up, make everybody, I guess, happy. But you just basically digged yourself into a deeper hole with that situation. I would say this, the really harsh comments and the comments that were really out of pocket, like, those need to stop. But I will say that she needs to just ease up off of Justine, because she really didn't do anything. If your friendship with Justine was that great, you shouldn't let something like this really bother you so much. I would say if you felt some type of way for the situation, you have every right to. I don't think your feelings should be invalidated because of that, because, you know, if you really did like Caleb, and Justine basically was like, I'm applying pressure, so it's whoever who's applied pressure the most gets him. I mean, you didn't do, from what we look of it, you weren't applying anything. You just couple up with him. He was basically a placeholder in the villa. And then until Justine made that move at the car wash, you started like, oh, so you're pursuing Justine. Like, but you were coupled up with him, literally shared a bed with him for at least two nights, 2 to 3 nights, and you didn't apply pressure. You can't get mad at Justine for doing what you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? People walked into this live thinking, we're gonna get some answers, addressed, answered, and they walked out of it confused. Murad Morales, shout out to him. I know he's gonna do a video on this. He was in the live and he was like, I'm confused. Like, he left the live because that's how confusing she was. Like, when she started drinking, she started reading the comments on her live instead of reading the ones that were like asked beforehand. I was just like, nah, girl, like, no, because, and then the thing is, her live ended accidentally, so she had to come back again. And the thing is, it was like 30 minutes, like over 30 minutes until somebody came into her live. So the people who came into her live was Caitlyn, Kirsten, and Trey. When Caitlyn and Kirsten came in their live, people were going in on them. And then Trey came in at the last minute, and then, after that, she answered one question, after like one question left, and then her live ended. And she said she wasn't going to go live again. So, all I gotta say is that she really did not do a lot in that live. She basically contradicted herself many times. She was very upset. It was very obvious. She can't blame a bad edit because, the people, the production, they can make things look seamlessly and make it seem like it was real, but they don't tell you to say that in the confessional.
It irks me, it irritates me, it rubs me the wrong way. There are consequences to that risk, i.e., I don't want to be your friend anymore.
They don't tell you to, have your facial expressions to be that way. You know what I'm saying? You were oppressed, you were upset, just own up to it. Don't try to backtrack and like double, like, I don't know, because she wasn't really answering questions. That live wasn't it. It got messy real quick, and that's what I have to say. I'm not gonna diss her on her personality, her her body or whatever, like her hair and stuff like that. Nah, I'm not gonna diss her on that. Like, I'm just talking about what we've seen inside and outside of the show. Because even in Alana's interview, after the Islands interview, you were just ragging on Justine. So how are you gonna come and say and be like, oh, you gotta we don't know where you're coming from. The whole point of an interview is so you can know where you're coming from, correct? Correct. Like, oh, the whole point of an interview is so we can get at least some type of like clarification of how did you feel when you were on the show. You can't come and say, the edit was bad. You felt some type of way. You weren't mild about it. You were very much high energy, high all the way up. But I digress. The whole live was a mess. People just need to come correct better, come better. She needs to realize that, you can't put the blame on Justine. You can't, backtrack every statement that you say because it's not going to look right. You could have just really stayed in the background, not say anything, and, people would have forgotten, but now you just basically, what's it called? Reflame this whole situation, and people are going to be on your head. Like, no joke. People are going to be on your head for real. Like, you thought before it was hard, people are going to be on your head right now. And I do feel bad that people are really coming at you really out of pocket wise, negatively. But I mean, you set yourself up. All I gotta say, be easy. stay breezy. Let me stop. And if you like this video, like the video, comment down below your thoughts, comments, and concerns about this live, this whole situation. You know, what do you think about the situation? Like, yeah, let me know. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. You know, help me out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.